The Lagos State Police Command has arrested 50-year-old Oby George for feeding desperate barren with seeds which made them to look pregnant and later steal babies to hand over to them after a cooked-up labor and delivery. It was gathered that once these desperate, aging, barren women go to George, believing she had herbs which could defy medicine and make them pregnant and have normal babies, she would give them some mysterious seeds and herbs to be taking orally. The seed will make their stomachs and legs to begin to swell, which many of them believed are really signs of pregnancy. George would warn them never to go for scan or visit any hospital for checkup or antenatal. She was also the person who would tell them when they were due for delivery. On delivery day, she would give them another seed, which would make them to start vomiting and going to the toilet. Afterwards she would ask them to lie on table and to start pushing because the baby was already coming. Just to make them believe that their babies were coming, George would push a fist into their private and would keep shouting at them to push. It was gathered that some of the women used to lose consciousness during the supposed labor, apparently due to the seed they had ingested earlier and weakness from incessant vomiting and stooling. To drive home the point that they had actually delivered, she would slice their private parts with blade, so that they would see blood when they recovered their wits. The women would later be compelled to use pad after the labor and delivery. Many of these women are believed to have gone to their various churches to testify how God visited and blessed with the fruit of the wombs like God did for Hannah in the Bible. Most of the babies which are given to these women are believed to have been stolen or bought from baby factories in eastern part of the country. Victims are charged according to the sex or number of babies they wanted. Twins go for N1.5 million and triplets for N2.7 million. Though George lives in Port Harcourt and was arrested in Port Harcourt, but most of her victims seem to be from Lagos State. George was arrested after one of her victims, Desope Cecilia, 61, who honestly believed she had delivered a set of twin boys, went to a health center at Festac area for a medical checkup. The doctor on duty had taken one look at the 61-year-old woman and concluded she could not have bore the twin. He had immediately alerted Area E policeman, Festac. A team of policemen, led by the area commander, ACP Dan Okara, had invited Cecilia to the station for questioning. And for hours, Cecilia insisted that she had actually delivered the kids herself. It took the frank confession of George to convince Cecilia that she had been hoodwinked by fraudsters. Narrating how she was duped, Cecilia, who was said to have broken down in tears after George's confession, said, "It was one lady who told me about Oby's ability to help women like me get pregnant. She gave me Oby's phone number. I called her and explained that I was looking for the fruit of the womb. Though I live in Lagos, but I spoke with Oby through phone. She asked to come over to Port Harcourt. She said she would give me a seed and herbs to help me conceive. She charged me N1.5 million. I asked for twins, boys. She said I must not go for scan or hospital. She told me that my babies are miracle ones, thus hospital can't carry out their delivery. When it was 9 months, she said I should come again to Port Harcourt to deliver. At Port Harcourt, she gave me another seed to eat. I started going to toilet. Later she asked me to lie down on the delivery table. She said I should begin to push. I pushed with all my power. Later I heard the cries of a baby. She asked me to push again. I pushed again and heard cries of another baby. I went to hospital with my babies in Lagos and I don't even know why police arrested me. When police raided the delivery home at Port Harcourt, 2 other victims were seen. One of them, Joy, 43, said she had been searching for a baby for over 18 years now. When she met Oby, she thought her troubles were over. When I presented herself, she looked pregnant, what with her swollen stomach and legs. Explaining that she lives in an area of Lagos, Oby said that one of her neighbors, living overseas, gave her Oby's phone number. When I called Oby, she asked me to come down to Port Harcourt. She gave me 2 herbs and seed. On the day that police arrested me there, she actually asked me to come so that she would check if I was due. I paid $2.7 million for triplets and the treatment. My stomach became swollen and my legs. Even my clothes could no longer fit me. I believed I was pregnant. I was given the impression that I must not go for scan. Building her own defense, Oby denied knowing where the babies were brought from. She claimed that it was one Helene Okara, who used to bring the babies. She further said that her role in the scam was only to provide her home as the delivery place for the babies. She further said that one Mr. and Mrs. Teller were also involved. They were actually the people who first sent Cecilia to her. The Tellers were the ones treating her before they brought her to my home. They said they wanted her to deliver in my house. They later told me that Helene Okara would come over to my house for the delivery of Cecilia's babies. When I saw Okara, she told me that she could not use her home for the delivery because her husband is a pastor. It is Okara who usually arranged and brought the babies. On the delivery day, Okara gave Cecilia something to drink. I was there. It was also Okara who used blade to cut her private parts so that blood would come to show that she had delivered. Police spokesperson, Ngozi Bride, said police were still working to arrest other fleeing members of the dastardly syndicate. She added, "This is the latest trend in town now. All barren women or women seeking for fruits of the wombs should hold on to God. People like Oby are still out there.